Hi friends, welcome back to Black Cat Folk Magic. All kind people are welcome here. And today we're doing our week ahead reading. It's a little later than I'd hoped, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. As always, I have 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 with Abundance and Goldstone. Group 2 with Release and the Cherry Quartz. And group 3 with Trust and the Lace Agate. Okay. As always, the timestamps are listed down in the description, and I'll see you in your reading. Hey there, group 1, you chose Abundance and Goldstone. Okay, let's get some oracle cards and see what's coming in for you this week. Where I live, it looks like it's going to be rainy all week. It's been raining all spring, so I guess I should be grateful, right? Well, a rich man, which definitely goes with Abundance and Goldstone. We have the sun and stars. Okay, let's get you some tarot. All right, we have the world. Nice start. Sorry, YouTube rules. The Hierophant. The Wheel of Fortune. So far we have 3 major arcana cards, and that indicates something big in your life. It's not a small change, it's a big change. Something that's lasting. So for example, if we were talking about abundance and it was a small thing, it would be like, this is just an example. Winning $25 on a scratch off or whatever. But if it's a big thing, it's like a new job with really great pay, that sort of thing. Okay, we have 5 of Pentacles. We have King of Wands. Okay. So, Spirit wants you to understand that with the sun and the stars, that nothing is binary. Nothing is one or the other. Everything is on a spectrum, or everything is part of each other, right? They're connected. There's no east without west. There's no light without dark. I think what Spirit is trying to get you to understand here is that you are moving into a time when you don't have to worry about the things that you used to worry about. So maybe, for example, paying your bills. You don't have to worry about that. And Spirit is saying, but your old ways of doing things are going to hold you back. So you have a lack mentality because you may have spent a lot of time in your life being poor or something like that. But Spirit wants you to understand that you weren't a poor person. You were somebody experiencing low funds, right? And now you can be a person experiencing wealth. So just because you experienced a lifestyle, that doesn't mean that's who you are. So Spirit wants you to really stop thinking of yourself as a poor person or as a person who lacks this or lacks that. You're a person who experienced that lack at one point in time, but you're not a person who embodies that lack. That doesn't mean you have to carry it around the rest of your life. And Spirit says this is really, really important, because that lack mentality might cheat you out of things. Good things that are coming to you in the future. That you may not believe that you deserve, or you may believe are too good to be true. Something along those lines. And so you won't seize the opportunity. Okay? And Spirit says you deserve this. You absolutely deserve this wonderful abundance coming in. You are a person of abundance. You're a person experiencing abundance. And you need to allow that to happen. I think a lot of you are waiting, when good things happen, you are waiting for the other shoe to drop. And Spirit is saying you please let that go, because that lack mentality is really going to hold you back. You really need to break through that lack mentality, because everything is aligning here to give you what you want, but you have to also be in alignment with it. So if it's aligning to bring you abundance and you're sitting in lack mentality, that's not going to work, friend. It can't get to you. So try to work on that. Try to work on understanding that you are as worthy of these things as anyone has ever been. And it is absolutely possible that they'll come to you. Okay? There's no trick involved. The only trick is the tricks you play on yourself with the lack mentality. I know being in that survival mode sort of makes us feel like we're staying safe, and Spirit is saying, absolutely not. That's an illusion. That's an illusion of safety. Look at this. We have 5 of Pentacles again. You've got to let this go, friend. You've really got to let it go. We have, put that thinking to rest. That was in the past. It doesn't exist anymore. And I think you're overlooking opportunities because you just assume they're not meant for you. There's this funny story, I don't know how funny it is, but there's a story that I remember from when I was a little girl. And I was probably about 5. And it was Christmas, and my grandma had put all my presents in a pile and divided everybody's presents up. And I was an only child, and so I was off to myself opening my presents. And I opened this watch, and I thought, oh no, I accidentally opened somebody's present, because I saw that watch, and as much as I wanted it, I thought it was too grown up for me. It wasn't a little kid watch. It was a nice watch. And I thought, oh no, there's been a mix-up, and now I'm embarrassed. And so, as little kids will do, I shoved it under the couch. And thought, well, somebody will find it later. And what happened was, my grandma found it immediately, of course. And she said, did you not like this watch, Christy? I'm sorry if you didn't like your present. And I said, oh no, I love it. I just thought it wasn't mine. I thought I wasn't big enough to get this present. She says, of course you are. This is for you. It's for you to enjoy. And I feel like that's sort of where you're sitting right now. It's like, I'm not worthy enough to receive this, right? It can't be for me. There has to have been a mix-up. And Spirit is saying, absolutely not. This is for you. This is for you. The universe is collaborating with you right now. And so this week, look for signs. Look for messages. Look for ways that you can open up and see the opportunities coming your way. All right, well, I hope this helped you, and I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Take care. Hey there, group 2. You chose Release and the Cherry Quartz. And let's see what's coming your way this week. Let's start with some oracle cards. We have Hope, Big Water. We have Meditation, to dig deep. Which is interesting because at first blush, that makes me sort of think of the opposite of release. But let's get your tarot and see what's going on. What's coming in for group 2 this week? We have the King of Swords. The Four of Cups. The Knight of Swords. The Four of Swords. Fascinating. And the Five of Pentacles. Oh, okay. You may have let something go that you now regret. Okay? You may have overlooked an opportunity or passed on something, and now you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay? Maybe there's some regret there. And you're starting to really dig in here. You're starting to really think about it. Another thing you're doing with these fours is that you're having a hard time releasing some old ideas that you have about things, or some way you've always done things, or something you declared 20 years ago, and now you're like, well, I promised myself this thing, even though it doesn't fit you anymore. So Spirit is saying this week, look out for those traps. Look out for those things, those stumbling blocks that keep you trapped. Because she's looking for something more. And I believe you are too. And I believe maybe releasing this thing or making this mistake has made you understand a little bit more that the way you had things planned out in your mind, the things that you expected to happen, there may be things better than that on the way, and you want to be open to that. So, let's get you some more tarot cards. Five of Wands. Queen of Wands. She's my very favorite. Strength. Two of Wands. And the Devil. Yeah. Okay. So basically this week is about battling your own demons, battling your own mind, battling your own your self-imposed limits. I feel like you've put a lot of limits on yourself without really realizing it. And Spirit says, remember that you are limitless as long as you believe that you are limitless. And so now is the time to really hash this out with your heart and your brain and say, look, what is it we truly want? Brain, I know we planned A to happen since we were very young. And just because we're thinking that we might want B or C to happen, or maybe a third or a fourth thing that we don't even expect, that doesn't mean we're abandoning ourselves. In fact, we may be abandoning ourselves by not examining these opportunities that are coming along, by shooting them down without thinking, just because they don't fit the old plan, right? And don't be unteachable. I just heard that. Don't be unteachable. So keep an open mind about your future. This world is a big place. It's a diverse place. There's a lot going on. And it's really hard to narrow down your experience on this planet into a tiny, rigid plan. And that works for some people. And I think you, at some point in your life, you thought it would work for you too. But the thing is, you've grown as a person. And you've outgrown these old plans. And Spirit says, please keep an open mind to this. So this week, Spirit really wants you to start hashing it out between your brain and your heart about what it is you really want in life. And also maybe let go a little bit of old expectations. Let go of old limits. And be a little more open-minded about the possibilities that are out there for you. It's a big world. And I hope that you choose the thing that works out the best for you. All right. I hope that helped you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Hi there, Group 3. You chose Trust. And this lace agate. This reminds me of, there's a painting by Frida Kahlo, and it's a doe in the woods, and there are arrows going through it. And I'm not sure if that's relevant to your reading or not, but that's what popped in my head. So take that as you will. Let's start with some oracle cards. See what's coming in this week for you. Artemis, also if Artemis resonates with you. We have main male. Now I want you to remember that in reading, gender just means energies. It doesn't mean actual gender. It's just masculine energy, feminine energy. And everybody has both of those in them. Transformation and change, which is incredible because the butterfly wings on this. Ooh, I can't wait to find out what this is about. You may be feeling very vulnerable right now. I just heard that. Yep, friend change. The Chariot. The Four of Swords. The Nine of Wands. You're almost there. The Five of Pentacles. That has come up in every reading today. And Six of Cups. Oh. Okay. Since I'm reading for the collective, this could mean a couple of things. A couple of different things. So, for some of you, this is about a love relationship, a romantic relationship. You're feeling very vulnerable about going towards this romantic relationship. Maybe one has been presented to you, and you, on some level, you think this is a really great idea, but you're afraid to be that vulnerable. You're probably, reeling from some other pain, like most of us do in our lifetimes. We experience, touching the hot stove eye, and we're like, that hurts, and I don't want to do it again. Which is completely understandable, but when it comes to romance, when it comes to interpersonal relationships, a lot of times we have to make that leap. We have to make that leap of faith. Now, follow your own brain and your own heart, always. Please do. I do want you to know that this meeting between you two was fated with this Chariot card. There's nothing you could do to control that. I don't even think you really manifested this. In fact, I think you were kind of avoiding something like this because you remember how badly you were hurt before. And Spirit is saying, we have to transform that into something beautiful. Because, yes, you were hurt before, but how magnificent is it going to be to find the right relationship, the one that supports you and loves you and values you in the way you deserve to be valued? Isn't it going to be all the more precious because you experienced hurt before and now you can see how wonderful it can be? You understand how fragile those relationships are, like butterfly wings, just very fragile. And this is chosen to come visit you again. It's chosen to give you another opportunity. And that doesn't happen for everyone, okay? You have the Six of Cups here, which is a soulmate card. It is also a card of the past, so it may be somebody you knew in your childhood that's coming back into the picture, or somebody that you used to date or something like that. Always follow your own brain and your own heart when it comes to things like that. I'm just telling you what the card means. But I think Spirit is asking you to open your mind a little bit about incoming possibilities. And don't be so quick to shut it down. Because part of what you're meant to learn during your time here on Earth is how to transmute tragedy into abundance, sadness into happiness, disappointment into bliss. We have the Sun. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands. Five of Pentacles under the Five of Pentacles. These cards keep coming up. I think everybody is feeling a lot of, look at this, Nine of Cups. I think a lot of people are feeling the lack mentality right now because things are very tough in the world. Things are very tough to navigate. And we don't always know how to do that. And a lot of us are just like closing down because we're out of energy, we're out of motivation. We just can't be hurt anymore. We're out of band-aids, in a figurative sense. So, like last week, I took last week off. I did no readings whatsoever. And it was exactly what I needed because I felt like that. I was in a space of lack. I was in a space of only paying attention to what went wrong instead of what went right. I was very depressed. I was letting people down. I was not good at my work. And so I knew that if I stayed in that energy, everything I've ever worked for would crumble. So I took the week off, and you know what? I feel great now. I feel wonderful. I have a brand new perspective. So Spirit is saying, why don't you experiment this week with, instead of saying, what could go wrong if I open up and let this relationship happen? This week, why don't we steer it back to what could go right? If I open up to this, what are the things that could be really good about it, right? I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And I think it may change your course of action. Take a break, like I did. Take a break from the negativity. Take a break from, when's the other shoe going to drop? What's going to go wrong now? Let's just, focus on, gosh, what could go right? Because I think you're really going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay, I hope this helped you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Take care.